What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and we've got Carl from 100% Mags. First of all, Carl, how are you, bud?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. I was really excited for the game on Sunday, but you've probably found out by now that James Rodriguez will not be playing this weekend, which is a huge blow for Everton.
Yeah.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, let's just talk about, as horrible as it sounds, let's talk about Everton first, then we'll talk about Newcastle, then we'll talk about the two together. So, what's your thoughts on the season so far for Everton?
I think he's doing very, very well at the moment. The way he have come into this season, under Ancelotti is absolutely amazing. I knew he was going to be like this as well, from the way he came in last season, and he's brought in obviously some pretty good players in Rodriguez, Allen, absolutely amazing players in world football, and they are absolutely setting it alight for you this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming into his own as well. Absolutely amazing player. I've even got him in my ultimate team on FIFA as well. The player of the month. So, it's absolutely amazing what you're doing this season. If you can keep it up, though, is another thing. I don't want to put a jinx on it there. Sorry to any Everton fans, but, you can never know if you can keep it going, throughout the season. It is a tough thing. But you're doing great.
Yeah, it's to be fair, it's a fair comment because Everton have got a tendency of either having periods in seasons where we play really well and then we bottle it. So we're hoping for not this season, to be honest. Carlo Ancelotti's come in and sort of installed this passion, this belief that Everton can be very good this season, and I've got no reason to doubt that we won't be. I think Everton, Everton have sort of come out the blocks. We had a rough awakening last week at Southampton, but no one can say that sitting top of the table after 6 games is not a positive. So I'm sure a lot of Everton fans, including myself, are incredibly happy with that. And obviously, your Newcastle side. So I'm just, I'm not going to say that I watch too much football of Newcastle, but from what I've seen this season, and I did allude to it a little bit, I did go in a little bit on Newcastle yesterday.
Yeah.
But, what I would say about Newcastle is, they've conceded more than they've scored. They have players that, they've got good players. I mean, Saint Maximin could probably play for any team in the Premier League, or at least get in the squad at least,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great player. I'd certainly take him any day of the week. You've got Callum Wilson, who will score goals, knows where the net is. That's a positive. But you've also got them players that haven't quite done it. The Joe Lintons of this world, the Almirons. As good as Almiron is, he is a good player. He's a technically gifted player. You don't see enough goals from him, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on your season so far?
I think we're not doing too bad, but there is the questionable performances here and there. Obviously, it's another one of them like inconsistency things with Newcastle. We'll win the game and then we'll maybe go into the next one and we won't win it, or we'll draw it, or that's something that Newcastle always do in the seasons. And under Steve Bruce, it's become even more prominent that that's something that happens. And especially that game that we just played as well against Wolves, it was absolutely horrendous, that game. He had 9 men sitting behind the ball. It was an absolute joke of a performance. Probably the best standout players in that game for me was Almiron. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. He was running all over the pitch. He still had stamina left in him. And that's what you like to see from a player, that energy to just keep going and keep going and keep going, and starting to show, that you're not going to give up. You're going to go to the last breath that it takes to get that win in the game. And, I think that was one of the main reasons why we ended up picking up that point in that game against Wolves as well, because of that pure effort from Almiron, and then Jacob Murphy as well. Absolutely amazing effort from him to get that goal in there from that just tiny little sliver of a free kick into the back of the net past Rui Patricio. Absolutely sensational free kick. But other than that, would definitely need to be getting rid of Steve Bruce. He's one of the biggest downers for our team. We've got some standout players, like you say, Alan St. Maxim, and that, they could be absolutely amazing under the right manager. And, we had that in Rafa Benitez till, of course, he went off to Delhi Ifan. And it just completely went sideways for when Bruce came in. And it's still sort of doing it in a way. But we're just chugging along and getting them points where we can get them. But, that's just one of them things with this season so far.
Okay, I'm just going to go through the comments quite quickly. Eugene McGeever, Anthony Gordon, Nils and Conker need to play for Everton against Newcastle away this Sunday. Yep, I think so. Muxley, hi. Alex CH with a 79p donation there. Thank you, bud. Patrick Gallagher. I'm just going to say Rodriguez is our very best player, no doubt. But in terms of defensively down the right-hand side, I think who Everton plays at right back will have more protection. Yes, I do think that's fair, and I will talk about that in a minute with yourself. Eugene McGeever, prediction for the Newcastle versus Everton match this Sunday afternoon. I think Everton will beat Newcastle 4-1. I don't think we'll put 4 past them, but without Rodriguez, 3-1 victory away. Alex CH, I'm saying 2-1 Everton, big blow. What are you thinking, mate? We will come on to that. Mac F, I've always wondered, what do the barcode fans think of Big Dunk? Well, there's your question. What do you think of Big Dunk?
Big Duncan Ferguson, absolute standout guy. Really great player for Newcastle during his time, and just an absolute standout guy. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's fair. Eugene McGeever, training pictures, hints. Maybe we'll see. Everton should win. That's Tuesday, Delaney. And the Blue Boys clips. Hi, guys. Should to the Blue Boys clips. I think you meant to say subscribe to the Blue Boys clips. And also, while you're here, subscribe to the 100% mags as well. Are pushing. Mate. Yeah, no worries at all, mate. No worries at all. It's a quiet stream tonight just because it's a Friday night. Usually, the watch along get about 10,000 views. This one's probably going to get, I don't know, maybe 1,000 at a push. But it's always good to have someone of the opposite, the opposite team on. In terms of Everton then and Newcastle, what have Everton got to be worried about with Newcastle? Where are you going to hurt us?
I would say the pace in our attack. We've got very quick pace. Obviously, if we play the likes of Alan St. Maxim, who would obviously be playing, would have the pace there. And then, of course, if we have Ryan Fraser on, you've got pace through Ryan Fraser down the other wing. Then you've got Almiron's pace as well, that lethal pace as well from Callum Wilson, who's got pretty good pace on him as well. And then basically just try and get as many passes as we can into that final third, and try and get the ball into the back of the net. And we're passing play is pretty good as well if John Joe Shelby can be on his game. But if he is or not's a different matter, because he's, again, another inconsistent performer for it in the game. But hopefully, we can pull it out at the end of the day.
Yeah, what's your score prediction for the game? And don't worry. I'm expecting you to go Newcastle. Just because you run an Everton channel, you don't have to say draw or nothing. What's your proper score prediction?
My score prediction for the game, well, like I said on my actual preview on my channel, I says that I would be happy with either a point out of the game, but obviously I would love the 3 points, but nothing crazy, just stealing maybe the one goal in the game with Callum Wilson scoring that goal.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you think 1-0 Newcastle or a draw. I think Everton fans, from their perspective, I think this is a game that we need to go into. If Everton have aspirations of being top 4, which is what they do, Carlo Ancelotti come out and said that at the start of the season. If Everton have got aspirations to do that, this is no disrespect to Newcastle, but a Newcastle side with Steve Bruce as manager, Everton have to go in there and at least believe they're going to win. That's not saying we will, but they've got to have that mentality to go there and do it. And this is where it's a big step for us, really, because against Southampton last week, you probably watched the game. We were awful. We were awful, start to finish. We were not in that game. We played against you lot in January at Goodison, and I was there. You can tell I'm not a scout, so I drive up to the games. Yeah. I sat there 2-0 up, 94th minute, and we threw it away. And we give 2 goals away to a guy that hadn't scored in 2.5 years in Lejeune, scoring an overhead kick, by the way. I mean, how the fuck does that
exactly
happen? You tell me how Lejeune scores an overhead kick. I sat there and couldn't believe it. Everton have to have a different mentality. We have to go to Newcastle and believe we're going to win. And we did do that last season. We beat you guys 2-1, I think, at your place last season.
Yeah, I do believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think because we played you quite close. So Everton have to have that belief. It's just whether we do. And that's the fans believe in them. You've just saw the comments, 4-1, 3-1. I predicted 3-1. Now that James Rodriguez isn't in the Everton side, I'll probably say 2-1. But I still believe that we go there and win. But that's because every fan has that mentality that we want to see our teams doing well. We want to see you're not going to see, for example, Fulham or West Brom, who are bottom of the league, start saying that we're going to be losing at home. You're not going to see that. And
yeah,
this is where,
you're not going to.
Yeah, you're not, are you? Let's just read some more of these comments. There's only a couple more in. Celtic Vape, Pickford and Nkunku, Mina, Keane, Kenny, Gomez, Alan Decore, Gordon, Space, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, we will discuss who I think will fit in that space. Tom Carroll. If we perform like we played against Southampton, we will lose. Rodriguez, huge miss. Couldn't agree more. And David K. Are the Geordies laughing at the red shirts as well? Are you laughing at the red shirts? There you go.
Very much so.
He's a good man. He's a good man. We've got Adam Smith now. Pickford and Mark Smith. Hello. Right, so I'm just going to come on to Jordan Pickford. Obviously, he's got the Sunderland link. Newcastle fans and Jordan Pickford do not get on. They never have. They never will. Jordan Pickford's very quick to wind up Newcastle fans, and equally Newcastle fans are very quick to give him stick, which is absolutely what you'd expect in football. Tell me, just be straight. Jordan Pickford in your book.
I'm not a fan of him. I just don't like the lad 100%. He's absolutely horrendous as a goalkeeper. The way he's been playing for us this season, the way he plays for England as well, how he gets picked as England's number one is absolutely laughable with how many options is out there. You could say, like the likes of Caldolo, it could have a shout for the way he's been playing this season, but he's been a second choice goalkeeper behind Martin Dubravka for, a little while now. And, giving him a number one shot at England is questionable as well, because, this is the first he's had a chance of actually being the number one goalkeeper because Martin Dubravka's been out. And Jordan Pickford, he's not a number one goalkeeper for me for England. He shouldn't even be number one at Everton, to be honest. I think he's definitely your biggest, weakest link in your squad, this season. And he's made so many mistakes. He makes so many mistakes in the games when he plays against Newcastle because he just doesn't have his mind on the game. He's got his mind on winding up us Newcastle fans, and we've got our mind on winding up him. And, that's the way it always goes. And I do feel sorry for him in a way, that he's getting all this hate thrown at him from Liverpool fans for a tackle on Virgil van Dijk, which in my eyes, yes, it was a tackle, right, fair enough. He should have probably been booked for it. But to say that he deliberately injured the lad is completely out of this world, in the way Liverpool fans... Yeah, and the way Liverpool fans have been reacting about this as well, saying that we miss you, Virgil. Like, Virgil van Dijk just died. The lad's only out for the rest of the season. He's not died. We've had Lejeune. He was out with the same injury twice in one season. He come back from the first one and then was out for the remainder with the second one. And, you know, to give that kind of hate, man, to Jordan Pickford, I know he's a Mackin, but come on, the lad doesn't deserve that. You know, maybe it's for his playing style, maybe, but not for not to say that he deliberately injured somebody. But on Jordan Pickford, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I've got respect, you know, in to not wish somebody dead for what they've done in the game, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, credit to you, to be honest, because, you know, a lot of Liverpool fans, and all I would have to do genuinely is change this title to something to do with Pickford, and this stream would be full of red shot. Like, genuinely, it's been like that for the last 14 days. I'm still getting comments from it. It was absolutely mad because, you know, it's genuinely like they lost their brother or something. You know, like it was pathetic. You know, we've got. I did my match preview, and I think you watched my match preview. You know, there's a guy still commenting, and the Liverpool Echo, which is the shittest paper in the world, by the way. It's the reddest paper in the world as well. Well, it's close to the Sun. The Sun's shittest, that one said.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's mind-boggling. You know, books of condolence. It's just unbelievable. You know, even today, Alisson's come out and said, "Yeah, I wouldn't do that sort of thing." And you just look at some of the tackles that Alisson's done in the box, and you think, "Hang on." The only difference is you timed it better, and the only reason Jordan Pickford didn't time it better is because the ball bounced literally as he was there. So he's put his leg up to sort of stop the ball bouncing across the park from his touch. And he's caught Van Dijk. It's an accident. It was pathetic. It really was. So credit to you, because, you know, bearing in mind you're a Newcastle fan, credit to you. Neil Martin, could Everton play 4-2-3-1? I suspect they will play 4-2-3-1, and I will go through my team in a minute. Luke Adair, 1-1 on Sunday, 1-1. So you've got some Everton fans changing their mind here, mate. They've got, you know... You've got us rattled. 5K with no video. He hired security. He felt that vulnerable. Yeah, it was an absolute joke. Adam Smith, what formation would you play tomorrow? I will say it in a minute. Blue Bill 61. We're up to 60 people in the stream, guys. Get sharing. See if we can get this up to 100 at least tonight. Think Everton will be strong enough on the left and Conku Gordon. Rodriguez is a big loss, but enough on the pitch to sneak a hard-fought win, so long as we match their effort. Great show, boys. Yeah, thank you, guys. Up to 63 viewers. Adam Smith. Mike, what formation would you play on Sunday? And football cult limbs. Sorry, Mike, you're deluded. Fair enough. Let me know why. Adam Smith, right, look, we're going to get battered. ASM will roast Kenner. I like to think we've got a bit more positivity than that, bud. You know, James Rodriguez not playing, he's going to allow for somebody on that wing to give Kenny a bit of extra cover. And St. Maximin, yes, he's had a good season, but how many assists and goals has he scored this season, Carl, if you don't mind me asking?
I think he's got quite a few at the moment. I just have to check that out for you. 1 second.
I certainly don't think he started as well as he played last season, though.
Let's have to check that out. 1 sec.
We are. Look, 6 times, you know, fella. Go through one stream without mentioning Liverpool, you crab. Yep, suck your mum. So, yeah, I mean, look, I certainly don't think we're going to get battered on the right-hand side, irrespective of St. Maximin playing anyway. And also, Bruce has been playing in sort of a free role. So he sort of comes across the middle three, doesn't he? You know, you'll see him pop up on the right and the left. So really, it's going to be Alan and Zakorbe's job to keep a tab on him. Yes, if they don't, and yes, St. Maximin's definitely got the capability to rip us in the arsehole. But I just don't.
To touch on your question just before, he's played 5 games for this season, scored 1 goal, and got 1 assist already in the Premier League.
So that's not, you know, it's not screaming at me like, no disrespect, James Rodriguez and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's not putting the fear up me. He is a good player, but maybe he's not started that well. Got some negativity here from Everton fans there. Come on, football cult.
The reason I the reason I stuck up a little bit as well for and talked a little bit about like Liverpool as well is because my sister actually supports Liverpool. So
don't you worry, mate. I'm more than cool with. To be honest, now we've had one Liverpool fan, he would have an absolute team load of them. Right, let's go through some of the other comments. Eugene McGeever, where do you think Everton and Newcastle will finish this season? Well, I've said my prediction, so I think that's to you. Where will Everton finish? Just give me a number.
Where would Everton finish? I would say if you could keep it up, you could win the league, which would be good for you. But if you can't quite keep it up, I would say probably top 3, top 4 area,
really?
which isn't bad, to be honest. Yeah, I think you could get there.
Well, I predicted 4th, but I think we need to prove we need to prove that we're capable of that, and this is the sort of game that we need to be winning to do that. Okay, Newcastle, where do you finish?
Well, in the Premier League prediction at the beginning of the season for where I thought we were going to finish, I did say that we would finish just above the relegation zone, which that was before, of course, we signed in some of the players that we've signed in. So now I would probably say if we can keep up the performances that we're doing, I would be happy to finish inside the top 10. But I can say we're probably finishing just outside that in maybe 11th place in the league.
Yeah, fair enough. Which I'm sure you'll take. Would you cool with that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be too bad with that, to be honest. I wouldn't have a problem with finishing 11th place, especially with the takeover as well going on at the moment in the background. Who knows? Maybe it's next season we could be where Everton are right now.
You never know. I mean, to be fair, I was going to touch on this, obviously. So there's 2 things I want to touch on from a Newcastle perspective. I'm saying Liverpool because there's Liverpool fan in the comments now. Jesus Christ. So Newcastle, Mike Ashley come out and said about the £15 per pay-per-view, which was mad that Mike Ashley, of all people, comes out. I think Mike Ashley, Premier League wide, is disliked, especially by Newcastle fans. What's the take on it up there? The fact that he did make that comment and that he said it needs to be reduced or scrapped.
Well, us Newcastle fans aren't the greatest fans of Mike Ashley, obviously, for what he's done with the club for the past 13 years. But I wouldn't say he's winning way around, but he's at least shown a little bit of compassion towards other fans, and also a little bit towards ourselves as well, with what he's doing to try and get this takeover through, trying to get the law case and all that and all the legal action that he's getting against the Premier League, I think he's right on the button for the fact about the $14.95. It is a bit steep, especially in this climate. Asking people to pay nigh on 15 quid to watch something you were already paying a subscription for to begin with is just absolutely ludicrous and shouldn't be happening in football. You've got Danza as well from America. They want to come in December. They're offering up their Premier League viewing, broadcasting and all that at $1.99 a month, which is absolutely amazing bargain deal for, say, Premier League football at that price. If the Premier League could come to a more acceptable amount like that, then that would be amazing. But I just can't see them doing it. But Mike Ashley's right on the button for telling them how much that is. That is absolutely ludicrous, the amount that they're asking for that. And they're saying that money's going to go into the AFL as well. But, where's the proof to prove that it's going to be going there? From my perspective, it looks like it's just going to be ending up going towards the top 6 clubs as well. So it's going to be more money going to waste at them clubs. Once again, your likes of Man U, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, all them clubs are just going to be getting more money in their back pocket, which is absolutely just disgraceful for the way they've been going on. with it in football of late.
Okay, fair enough. And obviously, the other thing with Newcastle that we're all interested in, and somebody's actually alluded to it here in the comments, so I'm going to mention it. 6 times, fella. This is Liverpool fan. Ashley has broke a transfer record twice in 2 seasons and just brought the best striker in the Championship. Don't see why you lot are still moaning. He's backed Bruce. What's your comments on
that? I wouldn't say he's really done amazing because, he broke the transfer record 3 times already. He's broke the transfer record because he broke it with Miguel Almiron for 20 million from Atlanta. Then he went and broke it with Joe Linton for 40 million, which at this moment in time just turned out to be a complete flop. Hopefully that will change. Then he's broke it again, this time, of course, to bring in Callum Wilson, which at this moment in time he's doing really well for the club and has scored more than Joe Linton scored last season and cost, a little bit more than Joe Linton, but he's come in and he's put in a pretty good performance. So I wouldn't say, Ashley's really been all glamorous for that. But other than that, he's backed Bruce, but he didn't want to back Rafa Benitez. And if he had to give this kind of funds to Rafa, what would have been happening this season? We might have been up there, with Hughes at the top end of the table. Maybe not as well. We could have been just outside the top 6, but would still be better off than what we've been under Bruce at this moment in time. With the way it's been going on.
I do find it interesting, and I don't know whether, and this is moving on to the other point that I was going to make about Newcastle, and hopefully you can help us with. Obviously, you were linked very, very heavily with a Saudi buyout. And obviously, as an Everton fan, as a Premier League fan, there was a lot of Newcastle fans on Twitter putting pictures of Mbappe in Newcastle shirts. I mean, you probably saw them yourself.
Yeah.
What happened? Just so we're aware what happened. I understand the Premier League blocked the move. Is there a particular reason? What's going on now? Are we going to still see a Newcastle Saudi-owned club? And should we be shitting ourselves?
Well, I would say join the dots, be patient, wait, because it will be coming. We've just got to sit as Newcastle fans. At the moment we are sitting waiting for this absolute massive news to come, of an announcement that would just change the face of football. We're seeing it with Man City, the way their owners came in and look what they've done, since they got their ownership. The same guys who are actually going to buy us at the time, until Mike Ashley, of course, made the absolute massive mistake of insulting them in their own country, and that is why Sheikh Mansour ended up buying Man City, because they got insulted in their own country by Mike Ashley. The Saudis, it's another chance at the big time for Newcastle to get back to that glorious days where we used to play in, Champions League games against the likes of Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona at the Nou Camp. It would be amazing to see Newcastle getting back to them times. And I've been supporting Newcastle for all of my life. I'm 30 years old now, and I've seen some great times at St James's Park where we've played some absolute fantastic teams. Like 2002, we played against Juventus. Was probably one of the greatest nights. There was actually an article on the internet about it, with my name on, about how amazing of a night it was. Newcastle ended up winning that game against Juventus with an absolute sensational goal in the game. And it was just absolutely rapturous at the stadium. And the Saudis coming in, that would just be exactly what we need at this club. And the amount of money as well is just crazy, crazy money. Man City's got like 23 billion. You'd have the Saudis coming in at 260 billion. Some are saying 320 billion. That is crazy money, probably much bigger than the top 50 clubs in Europe have if they put all their money together. It's just crazy, crazy money. So I would be well and truly up for the Saudis coming in, but we've got to wait on it, unfortunately. And what's been said from the Premier League as well, the reason that they blocked it, Richard Masters and Gary Hoffman, who's apparently best mates with Hairy Hands Richard Keys of BN Sport, who, of course, Al Khalifi today got acquitted of the case as well for corruption in the Swiss courts. The other guy, Jerome Falake, he got 120 days prison sentence, which is absolutely laughable, for what they have done in football. And like I say, Richard Masters said that he wouldn't reject it, he wouldn't accept it on the takeover. All the news has been coming out as well that they've been talking behind everybody's backs in the league. The top six have been having debates about everybody. They had a big, massive debate about our takeover. Obviously, Spurs and Liverpool weren't very happy about Newcastle having such a big takeover because it would take them out of their place. And, unfortunately for them, I've got to say, that's football at the end of the day. If somebody's going to come along, they're going to have a big takeover, you can't stop that. You can't stop competition because you're literally breaking the rules and breaking the law by doing so, and that is exactly what the Premier League's done. And they need this case well and truly sorted. We've got probably three of the best QCs on this case, Nick DeMarco, Shahid Fatim, and of course Robert Odar as well, who's supporting the Newcastle Supporters Consortium Limited as well, who just sent a letter of action to the Premier League, and they've got until, of course, the 3rd, I believe it is, or the 5th of November to react to it. If they don't, then they're going to be going to court over it. So it's all working in Newcastle at the moment, and I've got to say it's very tough being a Newcastle YouTuber at this moment in time with what's been going on, keeping up with it all. It's absolutely crazy.
Let's just go through some of the comments. Football Cult Limbs. While you're on Everton stream, obsessed, mate. RIP Van Dijk and Fab gone too soon. Taking a piss out of the fact they're not dead. Lou Bill 61. These online shows are a great idea with opposing fans. Give us a good understanding, but that's thanks to you. Make sure you go over and subscribe to him. 100% Mags. Carl's a top bloke. His channel's growing. Go and support him. It'd be interesting to see his match reaction and also his match preview for this game. So go over and check it out. Really important you do that. Eugene McGeever, I think DCL will get a hat-trick against Newcastle United away this Sunday. Oof, we will see. Adam Smith, a player like Sigurdsson would be good for Newcastle.
Maybe.
Okay. Fair enough. Football Cult Limbs, I'm off now. Cheers, Mike. Blue Bill 61, Iwobi would look good in stripes. Would you take Iwobi?
Not a fan of him.
Don't blame me. I don't think Charlton in the Championship would take Iwobi, to be honest. Look, Adair, Iwobi 10, 2 feet. He takes about 10 steps in 3 yards. And then we've got somebody who's commented going there. Hey up, what's going on, Michael, my mate? What's going on? And Patrick Gallagher, DCL to store. Right, now, last thing I was talking about earlier was Everton's formation. So I'm just going to say that again. I'm also going to go through my team. So, Pickford in goal, Nkunku at left back, Keena, Mina, and Kenny, Decore and Allen, midfield 3. I actually, it's difficult because there's no James Rodriguez, so we do change the team in formation. So I do go with Bernard, Gordon, and probably Gomez in the middle of there. So in transition, it'll be a 4-3-3 and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. So it's 4-2-3-1, but in transition, it'll be a 4-3-3. And then when we're defending, it turns into a 5-4-1. I think if Everton can get down your wings, if we can utilise the pace of Nkunku on the left-hand side, who will definitely start, very, very good player. You probably don't know much about him. Watch him on Sunday. He is a very talented footballer. I know equally Bernard's got to get on the ball, Gordon's got to get on the ball, and they've got to disrupt play. They've got to get in between your centre-back and your full-back. And if they can do that and get that ball onto Dominic Calvert-Lewin's head, we will score. And the reason we'll score, and I'm not saying this against Darlow or anything, he's faced the most shots in the Premier League so far. So it suggests that although he makes a lot of saves, he is going to have shots at him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is banging form, lots of goals already this season. He has to be aiming to hit the mark against Newcastle. So for me, Everton win 2-1. Completely different team because James Rodriguez isn't in. What is your team?
I would go just basic 4-4-2 play for this game. I always like to see Newcastle line up in a 4-4-2. I would go with the usual backline. Obviously, Jamal Lascelles probably won't be able to play for this one in the case that he looks like he's picked up a knock, so he's probably not going to be able to play. So I would go with maybe Fernandez and Shaw in the centre-back roles. I would have Javi Manquillo down the right-back position. I would have the left-back of Jamal Lewis, goalkeeper obviously called Darlow. Down the right midfield, I would have Alan St-Maxim. In the centre, I would have Miggy Almiron and Hayden. And down the left midfield, I would go with Ryan Fraser. Up top, I would take Callum Wilson up top and maybe put Joe Linton alongside him. Go for a little bit of pace and power up top. Try and nod them balls down into the path of Callum Wilson. Try and get into the back of the net as much as we can in this game. But that's who I would go for in my starting 11.
Okay, fair enough. Carl, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you ever so much for coming on the stream. I will see you soon. Burst it in front of the camera.
I put stuff in it.
What do you mean?
Burst it.
Oh, here we go. You ready? Close your ears, everyone. What's that? Wait. I'll tell you what, kids, don't have them. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you ever so much. Got anything to say?
No.
No? All right. Guys, I'll see you soon. Carl,
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. Carl, it's been an absolute privilege having you on, mate. I wish you the best of luck with your YouTube channel. Keep going, keep smashing it, keep going. It's key. When you've got no disrespect, when you've got a smaller channel, you've just got to keep building, keep the videos coming, and you'll absolutely smash it, mate. Thank you for coming on here. It's been an absolute privilege. I'm more than happy to come on your channel whenever you want. So just ask and I'll come on. I'll bring over some of my subscribers, of course. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to 100% Mags. I will put the link in the description below. Go and check him out. Really top bloke. And Carl, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season, but I hope we twat you on Sunday.
Thanks, mate.
No worries at all. Guys, see you soon.
Same good.